Alright, good yontiv everybody. Just on my way to go do some shopping for yontiv. Just a few items that we need for Shvi Shel Pesach, Achron Shel Pesach. I don't know how many people are able to see the live stream that I posted, and I'm trying to find it on my app here, and for some reason it's not working. So it's just the way it is. So, but how's everybody doing today? It's I was thinking about something now, so I'm making this video. I'm kind of apprehensive somewhat to make the video, but I'll make it anyway. I was reading this article, and I'm apprehensive to make videos in the car because it might be construed as a bad influence. You know, I saw the Rabbonim in Lakewood very wisely said that people should not make minyanim even from their own porches, meaning what a lot of people have been doing recently, which is perfectly fine, nothing wrong with it, it's probably a nice thing to do, is that they've been if they have, porches, the porches are not just a marpeset is different than a porch, a balcony or something, and they stand out on the balcony and they daven all together, with other people. Everyone's davening at the same time, and they're davening with a minyan. They're saying every davar shebekadusha, and they're davening with tzibur all at the same time, even though they're in different places. Now it's questionable halachically because there's mechitzas on the if people are mitzaref like this to a minyan. Still, it's nice to daven all at the same time. But then certain people, they have their own Sifrei Torah. Maybe some Rabbonim have other people. I have the Sefer Torah in my house, and they even have Kriyas Torah. And there was a tshuva from Rav Sternbach Shlita that you could have even Ostyle Aliyahs, and you could rely on Shemaya Ka'oina to Tylos Aliyahs. The people, they're standing where they are. They're not right in front of the Sefer Torah. They're not oiches to the Sefer Torah. They don't really have physical shaykhs to the Sefer Torah, but they have a spiritual shaykhs to the Sefer Torah, and the auditory, which is also physical shaykhs to the Sefer Torah of Shemaya Ka'oneh. And so they're benching the Birkas Torah from wherever they're standing, and they're going on to and the Balkari's laning from there, and that's how they're laning. And Rav Sternbach allowed that. And the thing is truth in that it's a nice thing if you can do it. But on the other hand, the Rabbonim in Lakewood very wisely said, Mishum Eva, you shouldn't do it. Not to passel what was before, but Mikan La'abo, we shouldn't. Although I heard that in Square everybody opened their windows and sang Koach Soif at the same time. whatever it is, we don't live so close to other people that we're able to do these things, but anyway, they said Mishum Eva, we shouldn't do it because it looks bad. People get upset about it, and I hear, and there's wisdom in that, that the truth is, like we were saying in other videos, really to go for 5 minutes on the street for a funeral, you're not breaking any of the rules of the social distancing. Especially, you see people who are part of the same household, they're not under any social distancing restrictions, so they're walking together, not being 6 feet apart, and they're all part of one group, and they're just keeping 6 feet apart from the next group of people. So people, they feel like this, that, whatever, people take videos of it, and they don't like the Jews, and they take videos and they put it up on the internet, and people get mad. So they said, for this reason, even these things that we're allowed to do by virtue of the thing they call it, what, the social distancing rules, but we shouldn't do it anyway because it's going to upset people. Or similarly, you might have neighbors who are not Jewish, and they don't want to hear the Kriyas Torah and the davening or whatever in the streets. It's one thing you live in Kiryas Yoel or whatever. It's a different story, in Shechem Square, but in Lakewood you might have neighbors who are not Jewish, whatever, and it's not polite to be doing like that. And I was emailing with Rabbi Moshe Weinberger today. It's a private thing, but he's talking about how I asked him something about they interviewed him on one of these blogs or something, and I was talking to him about something one of my other Rebbeim said about is community a help or a hindrance, and he said, what's a shame do? And he said, I said, is it my gaiva because I don't live in a community to think that maybe it's not a hindrance, and self called self. He said, for so many people, the community replaced the Rebbeinu Shalom. That was his answer, and because of this, that's why they're in so much pain that they're not able to daven with a minyan. And wherever they go to the Zoom conferences, and they go to Chveis, to the to try to make minyanim that they're not supposed to, and the mamish are making people dangerous. And it's interesting because, I was comparing this to Zionism in so many ways, and the truth is, really, yes, it's the same thing. For so many people, the Zionism replaced their Rebbeinu Shalom, and the thing is, for the Frum Hamisha people, a lot of the community replaced their Rebbeinu Shalom, and we gotta, and the Rebbeinu Shalom, one of my friends, he sent us a text. He said, I clear, this is God. I cleared your whole schedule. Let's talk. And it's true. That's what God wants. He wants some time with us. And instead we're running to the Zoom and to the YouTube and this and that. And the Rebbeinu Shalom wants some time with us. And it's because it's for our benefit also, like we were talking about. I don't know if that video that I took got posted or not. I hope it did. And I don't know if anybody watched it. This new technology that they put in with the YouTube, I don't really understand it, what they did with the live streams on YouTube. It's funny. It was just a week ago. I had a normal live stream, made the Siyum on Chagiga, and it went normal. And now I don't understand it anymore. What kind of thing they made with this? Well, it is what it is. Beine Shalom führt der Welt. I was Messiahim Gittin today. I'm starting Kedushin in B'rz Hashem tomorrow, and I don't really know what. I'm so blessed that I was able to live stream the Siyum the other day, and I hope this the Divrei Torah that I uploaded today, I live streamed today, got uploaded, because it was geschmack, and I think it's kedai for people to listen to it. So. Not saying that I'll skaiva, but anyway, the issue that I really want to talk about, I saw there was an article in the Forward, and one of the editors of the Forward, she said, she doesn't need to go to a kosher store to go shopping, but gewöhnlich, that's what you do. You go into Borough Park in Flatbush or something, you go to a frum store. And she said, she was kind of nervous because these black hats, they're not keeping social distancing, and I'm going to get sick and this and that if I go to a frum store. And then she said she's talking to a doctor, and the doctor said, these Orthodox Jews, they think we're lesser than them, and they don't recognize us as Jews and this and that, and that causes me, on one hand, pain, on one hand, not pain. On one hand, I do believe in kind of tough love kiruv, that, if you're not keeping some basic Judaism, then no, you're not a Jew. Judaism is a religion, but not a race. But with that being said, I'll be liberal as to say how basic of a Judaism. Meaning, as long as you recognize there's one God, and there's something special about our Torah, and Shabbos is a special day in some form. I can accept that you're part of the Klal Yisrael. On whatever madrega, whatever level you're talking about, I can accept. I can disagree, but I can accept that you're still part of the Jewish people. With that being said, I see just opposite. First of all, I see there's somewhat of a more, and I think even sometimes the Reform and the Conservative recognize that there's more of an arrogance, particularly as as much as I can appreciate the spirit of what classical reform is trying to accomplish. It's very rare now. As much as I disagree with it, people, they see a certain gaiva in the reform folks, or in certain type of reform, the classical reform, and I mean, when I was the Rav in Richmond, the more simple synagogues, kind of felt that the people from this one temple looked down on them because those are the fancy people, The other thing is, I'm constantly trying to invite Jews who are affiliated in different ways than I am to my synagogue, and they're not interested. And not only that, but they are kind of upset that we invite them. And I don't know what that's all about. On one hand, you're complaining why why we see you as lesser or something, and on the other hand, we try to be Makarev, and I don't mean Makarev in the Lubavitch sense. I mean Makarev in the Satmar sense. I'm not saying you have to be like us. I'm saying, just trying to be friends with you and invite you to come eat cholent with us. And you don't want to, I understand davening might not talk to you the way we daven, but I think you might enjoy a drasha from our Rav, and I think you might enjoy just hanging out with us and eating some cholent and kugel. And you don't want to do that, and all right, that's your issue. I don't know. So, well, thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a good yontiv, and we'll see you later. All right.